Hey everyone, welcome to Introduction to Particles. In this course, we will create fireworks from scratch. Starting with basics of particle movement, we will dive into controlling particle motion and their speed. Along the way, we will explore key attributes and learn how to use them to burst particle effectively. Once we have created decent particle setup, we will focus on look development, demonstrating how various attributes can be useful to control color post simulation. We will also consolidate the work of 10 nodes into one node, showcasing the advantage of using attribute warp. Furthermore, we will explore Houdini 20's Karma XPU, setting up and executing renders, and even rendering technical UVs for more control in compositing. Once rendering is complete, we will move to Nuke for final compositing. Here we will learn how to utilize all UVs to enhance the final look. Check out this new course on particles to learn the basics and more about particle system. This is first series of particles, so I want to draw attention to learning approach. I will suggest to focus on basics. What I mean by basics is knowledge of essential attributes like ID, p-scale, alpha, etc. and understanding of particle node workflow, how to render AOVs, and if I check nodes, sometimes we have lots of parameters. So master some parameters only. Most of the effects will be achieved by tweaking few parameters only. So don't try to focus on all parameters at once. You will be confused. Won't clearly understand where to apply that knowledge. But if you are fast learner, then it's great. But if you think you are not able to understand few things, it's totally fine. Focus on what you understand, and most important, master it. It will keep you hooked up. So in this lesson also, I will focus on useful parameter, and other parameters we will learn in second series with proper example how to control it. And why I am talking in depth about basics is Houdini is very open and wholesome package. One concept can be applied to another part, meaning if you understand particles workflow and forces really well, then you can apply similar concept to RBD also. You can apply pop force, same in flip and vellum grain also. So focus on basic, but what about advanced workflow? Yes, it happens sometimes you come to some complex workflow and it's really important to achieve some result and you still not on advanced levels. So don't worry, just save somewhere. You can easily access it. Don't try too hard to remember everything. If you can do, it's great. If not, then don't worry. Just save somewhere and remember where it's saved and improve. And always remember, your creative vision about FX timing and FX rule of size variation, impact, and all matters. And as we all know, our VFX industry is updating too fast. AI will be integrated, so don't be attached to some system. Be flexible. If something new comes up, be ready to learn. If you have clear understanding of basic workflow, you will be able to apply similar knowledge to run that new system. So that's all I wanted to discuss. And now let's enter in magical world of particles. Let's start Houdini. Cool, close the start page. Just quick intro. This is the viewport we have. This is node network. Here we can create nodes. And here is the parameter. And this is shelf. Great. So let's start by saving this file. I'll save it on desktop. Let's create folder. Intro to particles 1. Create folder. Let's name this file particles version 1. And next I need hotkeys. So when I press M, I need merge node. When I press N, I need null node as well. To create hotkeys, we have to use this shelf. So create new shelf. I want hotkeys. And here I can just select nodes. Let's start by merge. Here we have to specifically select SOP merge because we will use that at SOP level. And next is null. This is also SOP and object merge. Let's apply, accept. Let's right click over here, edit tool, go to last tab, hotkeys, and search for network pan and click on edit. And here we can assign the shortcut. Just double click over here and press M. So it will create that. Press apply. We can see M over here, accept. So when I press M, we have merge node. And if I using dot network, if I create M, it will create SOP network and it will add that merge node because we have selected SOP merge, that's why. And let's set this as well, network, but here I cannot use N because it's already assigned. Here I will use shift N, accept, and this as well, control M. Accept. Yep, everything is working. Great. Let's understand particles basics next. Cool. Let's understand particles. I need geometry. So let's take a sphere. If I middle click over here, I have points, primitive, vertices, and polygon. And I have position as well. Let's extract points from this geometry using add. Keep points. Now we can render this as particles with size variation and all. But this is static. Let's add some movement using mountain. It won't work because we don't have n over here. So let's disable this. Yep, it's still static, so we have to enable this animation. It's not playing in real time, so I have to turn this on. Real time toggle. See, it's moving over here. But let's understand why it's moving. So mountain is adding 3D noise to P. So to move particles, we have to change its P. That's main goal, to redirect, to follow some curves and add forces also. To have an extra control like this over particles, we have to use dynamics operator. At the moment, we don't have emission control or when we want to kill these particles, right? But we understood that it's using this position and it's moving the particles. I want to explain movement in detail. So for just quick demo, let me use pop network. So I don't want this anymore. Pop network. And if I connect this, yep, we have that particles. It's similar only. Right? But it has some attributes and which we will study later. So how to move this over here? Do we have any mountain where we can just easily move the position? The answer is no. Here we have to use velocity and forces to move particles. I will explain everything later, but for now, let's just understand this. Let's play this. So as you can see, it's not moving, right? So how do we add velocity? So it's very easy. You can just go here, point velocity, and I want to set velocity. So I'll keep it 1. Yep, let's check. So as you can see, it's moving in up direction now. But how this is working? Is this meter, centimeter? What is it? So for that, let's check front view. Let's go over here, front. What is 1 over here? 1 is meter. Houdini works in meter. So for clarity, I will use box over here. We use box. And this is also 1 meter. And I want to make this flat. Yep. This is also 1 meter, but for clarity, I'll use box. So here we have set this one when it will reach over here on first frame or when is it reaching there. So if I have mentioned over 1, it's not reaching on first frame, right? Why? Because it works based on FPS. Currently we are using 24 FPS, as you can see over here. So it will reach there on 24 frame. Exactly. And if I change this to 48, apply FPS, and as you can see, it will reach on that frame. So always remember, when you change velocity or something, it works in seconds. So if you want to define the speed of an object, so you have to extract that meter per second. That's how you can figure it out. So let's reset everything, this as well. We understand V, but how force works here? Is it same like V? And let's just check that as well. So here I have mentioned 1, right? So I'll just disable. I'll just check force. And this is just for position only, so don't worry about all those things. I will cover later. So let me type 1 over here. So it should reach here on 24 frame, but it's not. So why it's not reaching on 24 frame? The reason velocity we have set to 1 from first frame. It will move 1 meter per second, but when we use pop force, it will keep adding that forces. So it will start with, maybe here we have 0.1, 0.5, and all the way it will add that 1, and it will keep increasing. It will go to 2, 3, 4, but when we use 1, it will stay constant from first frame. So that's how we can easily predict that it will reach over here. And best way to check this is, let's just quickly check this geometry spreadsheet. And I know we have lots of attribute and everything. Just to check data for now, we need to check velocity and we need to check force here. So here we have that force, right? But let's focus on velocity. Here velocity is 0. So you can see it's adding, it's increasing, as I have mentioned, right? But it will work different when we use only velocity. See, now we don't have force, but we have velocity first, and it won't change at all. So that's how it's easy. Right? So it's keep increasing over the time, and you can check this gap as well. Yep, now we understood the difference between velocity and forces. That's what's happening over here, and that's all I wanted to show you. Now you understood how particles moves, and let's understand sourcing and solver also. I want to delete everything now. Let's take dop network and connect this over here. It's empty right now. So earlier we were using pop network. It has everything set up. Let's start from scratch over here. Cool. I'll talk about this next.